Okay, welcome everybody out there. Hi again, it's TheProSpartanGamer with the SP Spartans series on PES 2013, and it's another special guest night tonight, and I'm delighted to say that I've got Nestor with me from 8-Bit Playground. Hi there, Nestor.
Hi, how's it going? Great to be here.
Good, great to have you as well. He's chosen for the mighty SP Spartans to play Bayern Munich, and that's the game you can see in the background. We'll find out in a little bit more detail now why Nestor has chose Bayern Munich for the Spartans tonight.
Well, it's just because, you know, Guardiola went to the Bayern Munich, so I'm not a Bayern fan at all, and I'm very interested to see what he does. So I can't. And plus, Thiago's there now, so I kind of want to see, you know, that kid kind of grow up. And he's a great talent. I believe he's a great talent. So I can't wait to see, you know, what he brings there. So I'm gonna start following them just because of that. Really, there's nothing special about it, I guess you can say. But that's why I chose them. I want the Spartans to really to have a fight in their hands.
Yeah, I mean, I watched a bit in the week there of Bayern play against Barcelona in the friendly. Did you catch any of that or not?
I caught the highlights of that.
Yeah,
I wasn't able to
Bayern looked very impressive, didn't they?
No, yeah.
I think they're gonna be up there again for the Champions League for sure. So, 8-Bit Playground, you and Jose, who I had on last week, have done some really good PES podcasts. I mean, I know for one, I've really enjoyed listening to them. And you must be due another one soon. But just tell me a bit how you got into that and how you two got together on the podcast.
Well, it was crazy because I was already doing a podcast for the site. You know, it's the 8-Bit Playground show with friends, and it was founded by me and three friends. So we got together, we started podcasting, and then one day I told Jose, you know what, man, I kind of want to talk about PES. There's all this stuff coming out, you know, and let's just do it. I have the podcast equipment, it's portable, I can take it to your house, you can come here. So that's how it started. It just began that way, and it just easily became a hit. I just couldn't believe how many people were listening to it. People were contacting us on the comments. They were like finding me on my profile at Twitter, and they were like, "Thank you, great listening, awesome, keep up the good work." And then we were just flabbergasted about how many people loved it, and since then we just, you know, we like doing it too. So we just started you know, planning certain dates when we want to do this and how we want to do this, and we're just going to keep doing it because it's something we love. We love PES. We've grown up with it, you know, over the years, from the N64 days to PlayStation, you know, PlayStation 2, and so now. So we continue to be PES fans. Winning 11, that's what it was called here, ISS.
Yeah.
So,
well, I think everybody out there is delighted you're going to carry on doing them because for me they're getting better and better, and there's a real good flow to them. I mean, you've got a good chemistry between the pair of you, and it comes across really well. You know, so with 2014 coming soon and a demo, hopefully the date for the demo being announced maybe this week, I think you two better don your microphones again and get another one out pretty soon, because I think there's a lot of people waiting out there to hear from you guys on your thoughts.
Yeah, I know. I'm just very pleased that everybody's like, can't wait for another episode. We just recently, I believe, was they told us when the next episode's going to be up. And we do have plans to make another episode, and plus, I want to have you in it. So I'm going to do whatever I can to get you in.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be a real privilege to be on that, because I mean, I know in the community it's well regarded, your podcast.
Thanks.
We were talking before we come online there a little bit, and you said that you played quite a lot of FIFA in your time, and in the transition between PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 3, which is probably renowned in the PES community as probably the darker days of PES before it started sort of building back up to where we are now. Just tell us a little bit about that, playing the other game, if you like, what a lot of people call it.
Yeah, you know what? When PES did the transition to next gen, I remember just being very let down, because you see what FIFA is doing with the presentation, you know, early during this current gen, and it was just it was stunning, you know, beautiful graphics, great presentation. The animations were something I've never seen in anything, and then you would put PES on, and you were just thinking like, things aren't, that doesn't feel right. It's sometimes it'll be a bit laggy, or it'll just be too similar from what we just went through, which is the PS2 version. And I wanted more of it. You know, I wanted something different, and which is why I in the beginning I did play a lot of FIFA, and I would still go to PES, and you would always go back to PES because that's what you grew up with, that's what you loved, and it was heartbreaking, really. I remember with Jose, we were talking about it, and he was playing FIFA 2 at the time, and we were just playing it because it was like, I guess the best thing that was out there. Yet we were always transition from FIFA, 2009 and 10, and then we go back to a PS2 PES. Then we go to whatever current PES was out there, PES 2010, 2011. So we would always like jump around because we were never satisfied. I remember we just sat down one day and we were just like looking at each other like, there's no football game to really play, like everything's disappointing. And it was a sad time because we would always used to bring our memory cards from our PS2 and kind of like load up our Master League players and kind of go head to head, or we would do a lot of stuff like that. We would go through league mode and just play, and we wanted something different, something more.
Well, thankfully, 2013 has been a really good edition of PES, and all the news and all the views and all the peak sneaks we've seen, like you at E3 and everything. 2014 is hopefully going to rock the PES world again, I think. So things are looking up, but obviously, like I said, 2013 has been a decent edition of PES, probably the best on this gen for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah. What's your main thing that you've played? Have you been submersed in the Master League, and how do you sort of go about a Master League when you start out on a new PES?
Well, I completely create my team. I create the emblem. I create the jerseys, and I'm not that like. I don't know how to draw well. I don't know how to do the whole edit stuff. So I try to do the most basic thing, the most basic stuff, just to make it look great. And I have my own team called Deportivo Hyrule, and I'm a Zelda fanatic. I love the Zelda franchise, and I've played Zelda since I was a kid. So I have their emblem is the shield, is the Hylian shield. So yeah, I do that, and then what everybody does is you start to the players you're given, you try to fit them in different positions, and I like to grow my youth system, my youth team. So I would transfer players over, and in the beginning of the PES 13, I just as many players as I could, I'll transfer them over. So because they're better, they end up being better than what you get. So that's what I like to do with Master
You always
League.
start with the default team.
Always.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, definitely.
Because I don't like choosing this, like a first division team or even a second division team with an option file. Yeah. I don't like doing that. I like creating everything from scratch because I think it's the way to play Master League. I believe.
Yeah, I do as well. For the whole experience, you've got to start with the default team, I think. So what hidden gems have you come up with? Have you sort of found any players? Obviously, I've got a couple in my Spartan team, but you must have come across a couple that you've sort of got really attached to in your club.
I have, and I can't pronounce the name because that generator that Konami uses to generate names is the worst thing I've ever seen ever. But the thing is, there is this kid that appeared in my youth system, and I've been trying to find out if it's just I just got lucky or if it's common, or I don't know what happened. But I can't pronounce his name, but I know I sent you pictures on Twitter.
Yeah.
He came. I remember I was playing Master League, and then my assistant came up to me and said, "There is this player from your youth team that we should look at. His skills are similar to Nani's." I'm like, I've never seen that. I was like, okay, cool. So I go over there, and you start to see this. I started to see this kid. He was like, I believe he came up at 16 years old, and I saw he had all these. His stats were incredible, like incredible stats, all these cards on him, everything. I was just like blown away. I was like, wow, can this be like, a unique Messi sort of player? You can say. And I started playing with him, and his player ID was similar to Nani's player ID. So I was thinking, oh, so this must be common. Thinking that, I didn't even bother to take a picture of when you know how you can see the dossier, how you can see information about them. The information said that his skill level was similar to Nani. It literally said Nani. I didn't bother to take a picture of it because I thought it was common. And I told Jose about it. I told friends that play Master League, and they have not seen that ever.
No, I've not heard of that either. I mean, you obviously were the lucky one, I think.
Yeah, and I have the players, so
I often wondered what the woman assistant actually does when she's in the office on 2013, because she doesn't really do a lot, does she? She just like
no, that's
but she actually done good for you, man. Then didn't she? She was worth you paying her wages that day.
Yes, I thought that was incredible. That player, and I still have him, and he's a beast. He's incredible.
He's your top man, is he?
I play him all the
time.
Yeah. Yep.
So 2014. It's like a big beacon up there in the sky we're looking towards, isn't it? It's a real hope, and everything that we've heard about it is just fantastic. I mean, the screenshots we've seen, the video gameplay we've seen, everybody who's played it, including yourself, you lucky bugger, and
I got lucky. That is the correct word. Just lucky.
Everything is really, really positive. The hype is as high as it's ever been, I think, for a PES release. Is it going to deliver?
I believe so. I definitely believe so. It's everything we've always been asking. You know how we've always been asking new animations, new graphics, better keepers, better this, better that, and it's all that whole package we've been asking into one game now. So it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be amazing. I loved what I played, and every time I'm seeing screenshots of it, it's looking even better and better than the early build that I played. So I just can't wait to get that in.
What sort of code was that you played? What percentage did they sort of say it was? Sort of 70% or something like that, or?
I believe it was a bit lower, but it was the E3 build. Yeah, it was. I can't remember the exact percentage, but yeah, it's definitely it was a definitely early build, and I was just we were blown away. Jose and I, when we first played it together, we played a match together, and it was just. I mean, the look on our faces was just unbelievable. Like, especially like seeing PES different, and I think that's the key word. It's new and different, and people are gonna. I think people are gonna love it because it still feels like
the 6 main new features that they've all been talking about. Which one do you think is going to be the one that, when people sort of put it on initially, and perhaps the first 4 or 5 games, what one of those do you think is going to be the one that really stands out? Is it going to be sort of the heart function? Did you see any sort of recognition to the heart function, the bit that you played,
The heart function, honestly, when we played the demo, it was very it was silent. The volume was low, so I didn't get to hear the crowd or that. So I can't really talk much about the heart feature.
What about the ball physics? Because that's quite major, isn't it?
Yeah, the ball physics were major. That was something that's because we experimented with the assist levels, and each time we went down, because we started up at the highest, and we worked ourselves down, and you can tell right away. And then the physics, how it moves, the ball rolls around as you're passing, as you're shooting, the way it bounces off players. It's nothing. It's different. It's very different, new. It's great. I do like it.
Because when I spoke to Jose, I was saying that last week about the team ID, the team play. I mean, if they actually can nail that, I think for me, I think that's probably going to be the biggest thing, because I don't think any other football game, has ever really had sort of how individual teams play. And I think basically you have your team, and you probably play the same against whoever you're playing, really, if we're honest. But I think if the AI actually played different against you depending on the team, you know, as akin to real life. So obviously Barcelona would have their short passing style, and there'd be other teams that would probably play slightly longer, looking for big men up front. Us would, you know, our teams would have to sort of adapt and perhaps look at different ways of playing against that. And I mean, if Konami actually get that right, that is going to be a game breaker, isn't it? Really, that's going to be a fantastic thing, isn't it?
Of course, if anything, I mean, team play, if that's delivered, I mean, just think about the possibilities, especially when it comes down to option files as well. I mean, people, if that can be created, that would be amazing. I think team play.
Yeah, very good point. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's done well, and I think it's going to be out of this world. Literally, so
yeah, there is talk. There is talk about a lot more editing being able on this new game, possibly more teams and things like that. So I mean, it's all looking very good. Tell us, so your whole E3 experience was fairly fantastic, and then you've starred in a previous video with Winning 11 on the Round the Table chat. How was that for you? Was that a bit surreal?
Yeah, everything, the whole E3 experience for us was surreal. I mean, if you listen to our most recent podcast, you would know that we were going there just thinking we're not going to play. We're just not going to play PES. We took our PlayStation, we took a few games, we took PES, of course, and just thinking we're just going to be in the hotel playing video games, and we just found a way to get in, and you know, we took advantage of it and played the game. And then that interview was, I was not expecting to be interviewed, to be honest. We were all hanging out at this round table, and it was late at night. And I remember this Adam said, "Hey, let's go. Let's go." And Jose and I looked at each other like, "Where are we going?" "Oh yeah, we're gonna go do a video thing." Like, what? Yeah, didn't the scene tell you? No, I didn't know that. Okay. I guess I'm gonna do a video interview.
You didn't have a lot of time to prepare for that one, then, mate, did you?
Oh, not at all. And it was great. I loved hanging out with those guys, and I just, you know, the whole video stuff was great. It's first time being on camera, so it's just like a bit weird.
Well, I thought it didn't look like it. It looked like it was something that had been rehearsed. So I mean, it came across that it wasn't just sort of sprung on you. So I think you've done all right.
Oh, well, thank you.
I mean, so we've been in contact probably now, sort of 12, probably nearly 12 months, maybe longer than that, talking about PES and tweeting one another on Twitter and everything else. Yeah. And obviously all Nestor's details will be in the description box of this video. So, you know, if you want to get hold of him, ask him questions about PES or asking questions about future podcasts, I will put a link to 8-Bit Playground on here as well for the podcast, because they're definitely worth a listen. What attracted you to watching the mighty SP Spartans?
Honestly, it was since now I don't have much time to play Master League as I did before. During my youth, you know, I would always play. And I remember when I saw your video, your enthusiasm for the game, your passion for it. You can just tell that, you know, you have fun what you do and you love what you do. And then seeing how, you know, you work around your transfers, you look at your formation, you look at the arrows, who's good, who's fit to play, who's not, and you start making changes. And that, you know, that's all, we all relate to that. Everybody who plays Master League, you know, what you do, it's very relatable. And I was just thinking, like, man, it's so great seeing it. It's really great seeing it. And I see them at work. You know, I downloaded them to my phone, and because it's hard to stream stuff because some of the areas where I'm at, there's little reception. So I see them, and what I can catch, I just love it. You know, during my lunch break, I'll see it, and it's just mainly, man, like I love your commentary. I think it's great. When you get scored on, you feel so heartbroken because you don't want to lose, and then your win is so important that when you get scored on, I feel it too. Your voice drops down. You're really trying to figure out how to get through these impossible matches, and when you do score, you just yell, and I love it because, you know, we've all experienced that, and I think that's great to see about your video.
Who's your favorite Spartan player?
When I remember when I was seeing Eccleston was great, and then what was Simic?
Yeah.
Simic, and I remember Dillafoe. So those players, you know, they're your franchise players. So
yeah, no,
you end up,
they are really good players. Those, yeah.
yeah, I remember there was one video. Sorry, when you were it was one of the early ones, and you were talking high about I believe it was Simic, and then he was doing crappy on your games, and you're like, damn it, Simic, I've been like, I remember you, I forget the exact wording, but I remember you said I've been like saying so many high things about you, and yet you're playing like shit. So I thought it was funny. Just thought it was funny. Like that made me laugh.
So, what's next for you? What plans have you got next? Have you got plans of doing any more in the community, or are you just going to carry on doing your podcasts? Or
Oh no, there's Jose and I. We want to do something with the community, especially here, local here. There's plans, and I can't really speak much about them, but we are thinking of doing something for the community here, and also just to deliver something to you guys who listen to the podcast. We want to get guests on our podcast as well, people who, you know, done YouTube videos, who are passionate for PES. You know, you're gonna be one of them. I think you're gonna be the first. You're gonna be the first one in our podcast. You know, as special guest. So I can't wait for that.
That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. So there is. You know, we are gonna be doing more podcasts. We're gonna continue doing it because we just love it. We love to do it. You know, and we love to talk about PES. So we are doing things. We are thinking of doing some new things, but I'm not allowed to talk about them just yet. But follow me on Twitter. You know, ask me anything. I'll do my best to respond to things. So, best thing to find out about the latest stuff about what we're gonna do is just follow us on Twitter. Me and Jose.
Well, Nestor's at SuperNestor8 on Twitter. I will put it at the bottom, but that's his Twitter feed. Right, the game's in the background is it's finished 1-1 and it's gone to penalties. And
no way.
And Bayern Munich have managed to win on penalties. Destro got the goal for the Spartans, and it looked like that was going to be enough to hold on, but Mandzukic popped up for Bayern Munich.
Oh,
So
nice.
it wasn't the best first half, but the second half was a lot better. So payback for Bayern Munich, because in the early days the Spartans did beat Bayern Munich in a Champions League game. So look, Nestor, it's been absolutely great to have you on. We could go on talking all night. I'm sure we will after we stop recording this. But what if you could give me one thing that you're really hoping from PES 2014? What would it be? Just to close the show tonight.
Oh, put me on the spot. I really hope that the online is strong. The online is strong. I mean, I do play Master League, but there's times where I want to connect with friends and play online, a good online match. So I really hope the online is really strong, so everybody can enjoy this game. I think that's one of the things that kind of hold PES back from, you know, other footy games, is that the fact that the online isn't as strong. I don't believe it's strong, and I just really hope that, you know, Konami delivers on that. So, you know, and of course Master League. I mean, that's the core of the game. So you two things: online and Master League, because, you know, that's what PES is. PES is Master League. So,
okay. Once again, really appreciate you coming on, Nestor, and I look forward to your next podcast. I'm holding my breath for that one. I really want that to come out soon. So hopefully you and Jose are going to get together and record it pretty soon. And once again, thanks for coming on, and we'll see you again soon, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.